Hello, it is Thursday, March 6th, 2025. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It's a Thursday crossword today, which means we're going to be solving a themed crossword, and the theme might be on the tricky or intricate side. Always curious to see what's going on with the Thursday crossword, and today's intricate or tricky edition of the Daily Solve has been brought to us by Laura Sexton, Quotidiophile, and, as always, the indomitable Shoalmaster and the indefinable Charlie Paget. Thank you so much to the four of them, benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign, for their generous support. They have, of course, supported this channel through Patreon, keeping it going, keeping this series alive, and for that, I'm very grateful. Thanks to them and to everybody who supports the channel via Patreon. If you'd like to do that yourself, you can head to patreon.com/dailysolve or click the description field link where you'll find the bonus videos available to patrons, or for benefactors like those I've just mentioned, also the official mug of the Daily Solve Let's Check the Crosses coffee mug. And thanks to everybody who supports the channel that way. And thanks if you subscribe on YouTube. That helps out quite a bit as well. So thanks to those who do that. And there's also, of course, that Daily Solve Discord chat server. It's a nice, friendly chat community you can join via the description field link. All right, let's get on to today's Thursday-themed crossword by Kieran Pandy, who's constructed about half a dozen puzzles for the New York Times. It was edited, as always, by Will Shorts. Always curious to find out what the theme is on a Thursday. Let's start solving. That's gotta hurt. Pain? Is it as simple as that? I guess it could be an ache, maybe, or I don't know. Waterloo band. Okay, well, Waterloo is ABBA, who had a hit with Waterloo at Eurovision. So that's gotta hurt. So it could actually be an ache. It could literally be an ache. So when you see something like that's gotta hurt like this, and it's a common phrase, you might think, oh well, I need to put a phrase that means that's gotta hurt in there. But you don't, and the reason you know that is because it's not in quotation marks. It's not meant as a spoken phrase unless it's actually quoted. And so in this case, these words, that's gotta hurt, are just actually describing the answer. So they're describing something that would hurt, such as, in this case, an ache. So maybe that's obvious, but I just thought I would spell it out. Sound on a bridle path. A clop, the clop of horse hooves? Does that make less distinct? Yeah, to blur things would make them less distinct. And if something is brought into being, it's born. There we go. So if you're offended, you're hurt. Maybe you have an ache, an emotional ache. And the given name of Che Guevara Ernesto, I think that is right. And then let's see, high school exam for which 5 is the highest score. Okay, yeah, I think advanced placement tests, AP tests, are scored out of 5. Okay, I'm trying to listen, and this is in brackets. So this is sort of a companion, I suppose, to quoted clues. Bracketed clues often are referencing a vocalized sound, but one that's nonverbal. It's not language. So this could be something like shush, maybe? Trying to listen, you're basically trying to silence somebody, so that could be this. Let's see. Look to pick things up. To shop. I might pick something up. I might buy it. The great outdoors. Nature. Right. Okay, that was actually straightforward. So this shush is looking okay. Tops at golf clubs. I don't know if I think this means the bests at golf clubs, within, in a golf club in the sense of a golf organization, or if it means the top of something on a golf club, a physical, the physical club with which you hit the ball. I don't know if tops is being used metaphorically or literally. What about this? No way, no how. Not on my life, not on your life, not... Probably it starts with no. Oh, maybe it's neither of the things that I thought. I think what it means is tops in the sense of clothing at a golf club in the sense of an organization. So polo shirts, maybe. Not what I just mistakenly typed. Gymnastics star of the 2012 and 26 Olympics. Oh. Ali. Boy, I definitely know this name. Let's see. I mean, in the sense that it's in my head somewhere, but I'm not going to remember it helpfully. Gymnastics. Or it could be an I or Y. I'm not sure which. Untidy. Okay, it's a Y because an untidy room metaphorically is a pigsty, a sty. So no way, no how. Yeah, okay. So it does, I figured it would start with no or not, and it does. But no way, no how. Not a chance? Yeah, that fits. Let's see if that works. Read of urban legend. I don't think I've seen urban legend, but probably Tara Reid. And then winter hours in LA are Pacific Standard Time. So that's a time zone, of course. Okay. Oh, what is this? Is it Ali Reisman? That was what I thought when I first saw this, but to be honest, I wasn't confident enough to say it out loud. But now that I've seen the R there, I think it might be this. Or something similar to this. I mean, I'm not sure that this is completely correct, but it'll be something in that vein. Let's see. 1 of 8 on a cuttlefish, 8 arms, I guess. So graphite, essentially. Is that what? Ceramic? No. Maybe I should delete this and just remember that I'm sort of broadly thinking in those terms. Fire breather of myth. Who breathes fire in mythological tales? Obviously not a dragon. That doesn't fit. Should this be obvious? It probably should be obvious. Who is it? Or what is it? Dorm enforcers, for sure. So this is dormitory enforcers, but dormitory being contracted down to dorm suggests that the answer will also be contracted or abbreviated. So we have RAs for, I think, resident assistants, or maybe residential assistants. I think resident in a university dormitory. Okay, let's see. Part of a pizza. The crust is a part of a pizza, of course. There we go. So fire breather of a chimera? Do chimeras breathe fire? I didn't actually remember that. I think that must be right, and that fits with my Ali Reisman thing, so good. Not, so this will be an M maybe? Not satisfied. Yes, if you have needs that are not satisfied, they're unmet. There we go. So I was right. My memory was actually, I think, basically correct. Scrutinizes is what? Scans, maybe? And then to have an inclination is to tend to do something. So an extremity would be the end of it, the extreme part of it. And then top scores are bests, maybe? Carbon. Okay, Ali. Is it Reisman? Maybe it's still pronounced Reisman. That was what it was in my memory. So it probably still is, because AI can be pronounced that way. Okay, so graphite essentially is carbon. So that all works. And then to really dig something is to adore it. Pains. Oh, did we have pains up here? Pain up here? No, we had that's gotta hurt. Okay, so anyway. Pains. Not sure. Okay, Indian crepe served with chutney. That is a dosa. A big thin, well, as it says, a crepe or a pancake. It's often rolled over. Okay, so little time off is what, a personal day maybe? A little day you take off work. And then betray without is sell out an ally maybe. Snapchat's ghost, e.g. Oh, right, it's right. The Snapchat logo is a ghost. I was thinking, oh, is this app shut down or something? And now I don't know. I was thinking unnecessarily hard about it. To swallow is to down. If you down some food, you swallow it, maybe. Vessel with a round bottom is a walk. There we go. If you're eager, you're agog. To hitch things together would be to yoke them together. To settle a score for would be to avenge someone. There we go. At all would be ever. And an exact replica is a carbon copy? Oh, I've just realized we don't have any... I haven't noticed anything with a theme yet. The reason that occurred to me is because I was thinking, well, this... Oh, it is that. It's carbon. There's 2 carbons here. Graphite. Wait. Exact replica. Carbon. Is this the carbon copy? Because this is the first carbon, and then this is the copy of it? Sorry, I just had a sort of series of little sort of things. I was thinking, I wonder if this is theme related, because an exact replica is a carbon copy, but we don't have enough room to write carbon copy in here. So maybe there's some kind of rebus or something. But then when I just actually started typing carbon, as I was doing it, I noticed we also have carbon over here. So what this would be nature over here? Yes, second nature, yes. So, all right, so the reason I jumped to that was because very frequently, almost always, in fact, not always, but most of the time, a theme's answers will be disposed symmetrically in the grid, usually rotationally symmetrically, but it depends on how the grid is illustrated. So in this case, we've identified that probably carbon copy is somehow related to the theme of the puzzle. So if we were to flip the grid 180 degrees and then look where carbon goes in that flip version of the grid, it would be up here where nature is. So then we have nature. Okay, so maybe nature is part of this theme as well. We put a second instance of nature and we're left with second nature, which is tying one's shoes for most people. For most people, that's second nature. They don't need to think very hard about it. Okay, great. So is it just those two, or are there going to be more? Is the center of the grid could be panes. I don't know about that. Okay, I'm curious if there are going to be more of these. Maybe in the vertical clues? I don't think so. I'm curious if there are going to be more than those. Maybe there are only two because we have, second and copy. So maybe there are exactly two of these and that's it. I'm not sure. But I think we found at least part of the theme, maybe most of it. Well, I'm not sure yet. Let's check the crosses on that. A mouse-like mammal is what? I don't know. What about this? Worn away. Erode. Why do I not see what this one is? I don't know. Indeterminate amount. Some, maybe. Could it be as simple as that? Discarded tech devices. I'm not sure about some. Strengthen one's commitment. Re-up, maybe? Maybe? Look-alike. A duplicate? That could be. Specialty MDs. Not sure offhand. What about this? Digs for bears. Bear dens? Maybe this isn't dupe. Look, I'm not sure about any of these. Okay, I'm going to delete this all. Digs for bears. A bear den. Let's see. Look-alike. Indeterminate amount. There could still be some, I suppose. Worn away. It probably does end with E. Why do I not see what this is? This looks really familiar. It's sort of something scratching at my brain here, but I can't quite see what it is. Why? Why is this not obvious at all, ever? Yeah. Mouse-like mammal. Why is that not obvious either? I don't know. Discarded tech devices. Boy, this area feels tougher than it should be. To send out a message could be to emit it. So then indeterminate amount is some. A look-alike is a twin. That should have been very obvious. And to strengthen one's commitment is to double down. There it is. Look, we found another one. No wonder I couldn't figure out what that was. Double down, which means we can look up here and see another born. Like one with renewed beliefs is born again. Wow. If I'd continued solving the puzzle in the sort of ordinary clue order, I might have caught on to that much earlier, but I didn't. It's funny, actually. I solved this grid in a way basically guaranteed to delay solving the theme as long as possible. Because look at this. I basically solved entirely one hemisphere. I solved basically the western hemisphere of this grid, meaning it took me ages to cross over into the doubled parts of it. So, oh well. Anyway, specialty MDs, ear, nose, and throat doctors, ENTs. And then discarded tech devices, e-waste. There we go. Okay, it's a word. I rarely use e-words other than, I suppose, email. But we've got e-waste for electronic waste. There we go. I haven't seen as many e-words in the New York Times Crossword. I remember when I started this series, I was really on a jag. I often would go on these jags against e-words, but they've honestly calmed down quite a bit. I don't see them as often in the puzzle anymore. Anyway, mouse-like mammal, a shrew. Could not think of that, and there it is. And then worn away is abraded. Okay, well, there we go. And then meat designation on a food cart. You could have a halal, you could have, meat prepared in a halal manner, according to the strictures of Islam. And then comedian something volcano. I don't actually think I know this. This doesn't ring a bell for me. Portuguese greeting would be hola. So hal volcano, maybe? I don't know. 48 of them make a cup abbreviation. Teaspoons? Sal volcano, I guess that is. So highlight of many a Jimi Hendrix concert, a guitar solo. And what might lead to a breakout success? An escape plan, so break out from prison, perhaps. Unhand me, let go, maybe? Does that work? Neutrogena dandruff shampoo. Something gel, I don't know what. This is probably a brand name, so this letter could be anything. Blank talks, well, with talks being capitalized, it's probably TED Talks, which are, those often are posted to YouTube and such. Find more value from something. To reuse it would be to continue to find value from it. And gape or gasp, say, would be to react to something, either visibly or audibly, or both. Word from on high would be an edict, so a decree passed down. And then seller of Poang and Ikanaset chairs, I'm sure I pronounced those just despicably, but IKEA, which is also, I know, a mispronunciation, is surely the seller of those bits of furniture. To send something could be to email it, maybe? Is that too specific? One-time leader of the Sinaloa cartel. Oh, El Chapo. Okay, so the famous drug lord. So then send is, to send someone, to elate them, to make them very happy, to overjoy them. Okay, well, that's correct. So absorbed is, if you're absorbed in something, you're wrapped, your attention has been seized. Intensifying suffix in modern slang would be ass. There we go. Big ass, for instance. Pains could be hassles. And then dissociative void, as in the film Get Out. Oh, sunken place. I bet this is the first time that this has appeared in the crossword. Maybe not, but it could be. I mean, it's obviously a relatively recent concept because it was introduced in a fictional film just a few years ago. But it is the sunken place from Jordan Peele's film Get Out. And then certain voiceovers are dubs, maybe. You dub over a voice in a film or something. You re-record the voice in post-production. One with obligations would be a debtor. They're obliged to a lender. Troop for troops, in brief. Right, so we've got two different, we've got two homophones of troops here. We have troop as in a sort of theater or performance troupe, and then we've got troops as in military troops. So USO, which is the organization that puts on shows for overseas U.S. military members. And then Adriatic port city is Bari. There we go. And that should be the end of this puzzle. A cunning hunter, a man of the field in Genesis must be Esau. So I have to assume that's correct. And there it is. All right. A very nice Thursday puzzle. Reasonably subtle as far as Thursday themes go, but it's good. I like it because you do actually have to engage with it in order to solve it, which I think is sort of a hallmark of a Thursday puzzle. I think really up until Wednesday, you can get away with filling. Well, no, there are some times in those puzzles where you do need to really understand the theme in order to enter it. But often on those days, you'll encounter a theme where you can just kind of solve the puzzle and then discover the theme later. And I feel on a Thursday theme, you almost always need to actually observe it and engage with it in order to fully enter the grid. And at least in a way that you understand. And in this case, that is true. So, like one with renewed beliefs is born again. Here we have our second born. Tying one's shoes, e.g. for most people, would be second nature. An exact replica is a carbon copy. And finally, to strengthen one's commitment is to double down. And one other element of this theme that maybe I took for granted but should mention explicitly is that you essentially never would repeat clues in a puzzle. Sorry, you actually do often repeat clues in a puzzle. What you essentially never do is repeat answers in a given puzzle. So it's just part of, I assume, the New York Times crossword style guide that you just wouldn't put the same word in a grid twice unless it's happening for a very specific purpose, such as being an intrinsic part of this puzzle's theme. You do often duplicate clues in puzzles. In fact, a surprisingly high percentage, I think, of New York Times crosswords have duplicate clues in puzzles. So two different clues that have the same wording but different answers. That happens all the time, but very, very rare to have duplicate answers in the grid. But today we did, because we need to. I wonder what percentage of puzzles have duplicate answers. It's got to be very low. I wonder if there's any way to find that out. I'd be kind of curious. But anyway, there we go. Born Again, Second Nature, Carbon Copy, and Double Down. I think a very nice Thursday theme. Subtle as far as Thursdays go, but I think qualifies as a Thursday, which is nice. And there we have it. I'll be back tomorrow for the Friday puzzle, the first of two themeless crosswords for the week, so do join me for that. But until then, please do have an excellent remainder of your Thursday. Take care.